Welcome everyone to a very unique session of Pandesal Forum. We want to accommodate Mr. Joey Roy Halili Bondok because he is exceptionally brilliant and respected. I enjoy listening to him and learning from him. Mr. Joey Roy Halili Bondok is Director and Research Chief of the prestigious real estate company called Colliers Philippines. The country's, I think he is foremost analyst of the Philippine real estate industry. He is an economics graduate of University of the Philippines. Joey worked as a research manager for a research and consultancy firm where he handled business, political, and macroeconomic analysis. Ang galing, no? That's why we like Joey's analysis. Hindi lang siya one-sided na real estate lang because politics, unfortunately, in the Philippines and macroeconomic conditions affect our industry. His focus mainly Philippine real estate industry, macroeconomic analysis, also political research and analysis. Welcome again.
Yes. Thank you, Wilson, my favorite Philippine Star author, brilliant speaker. I thought you'd say brilliant with celebrity status. No, just kidding. But good afternoon. In real estate, we call each other good morning, of course, to signify new beginnings. But, I want to provide updates on what's happening to the Philippine real estate market. There are a lot of challenges right now, especially what's happening in the Middle East. We get a lot of questions. So how will it impact office leasing, residential take-up or demand, retail, of course. Philippines is primarily a consumption-driven economy. More than 70% of our economy is driven by personal consumption. Even hotels. What are we seeing? When you look at your Agoda account right now, you'd see significant reduction, Wilson, no? In fact, I think there's a recent news that I read about Cebu hotels really dropping rates. Baguio, because, I'm planning to go to Baguio. And
dropping rates, sorry to interrupt you. Can you give us an idea how many % drop in rates? Baka it will encourage more travel among people.
Yeah. In Baguio, when we looked at the daily rates, we're seeing 30 to 50% reduction.
30 to 50%.
Yes, in Baguio.
Discount.
And there are a lot of news items right now. If you read the business news, the businessmen are really feeling the pinch of less tourists, diba? Kasi the problem, when you go to Baguio, if you're family, of course, you can just take the P2P, point-to-point bus, diba?
Yes.
Ako, I'm traveling alone or with a friend, go to Baguio using the bus, diba? Point-to-point bus.
Yes.
But if you're a family of 3, 4, then you have little kids, diba, babies, of course you need to have your own car. And given the soaring prices of diesel, gas, diba, Wilson? It's really very expensive at this point.
Yes.
Even for logistics, Wilson. Logistics, of course, is a sub-segment of property. What are we seeing? There has been an increase, meaning logistics surcharges.
Yes.
Kaya right now, when you look at for example, e-commerce companies, they're looking for logistics warehouses facilities that are near toll roads, expressways, because that's one way, Wilson, where they can save on transportation, on logistics services. So, I'll discuss those in detail later, but let me just give you a quick recap now. What's happening to the Philippine economy? The latest data is, of course, 2025, 4.4% growth for the Philippine economy. The problem here is, of course, for the first quarter, this have yet to be factored into our current figures. And I believe that the first quarter data will only be released by, I think, early first week of May. So we have yet to see really the economic impact of the.
Do you have a guess? Do you have a guess?
Well, a lot of credit rating agencies and other banks are releasing data. If we expanded by 4.4% end of 2025, it could be lower than 4%. That's a projection that they have, Wilson.
First quarter this year.
First quarter of this year. And then up to, for the entire 2025, they're looking at to 3.5 to 4.5%. So we're looking at the Philippine economy perhaps growing about the same pace
Yes.
compared to how we grew in 2025.
Yes.
And of course, we want to see the economy growing faster, but the problem is, again, the Middle East crisis is really affecting oil, gas
Yes.
prices here. So that has been having an impact on retail spending, hotel.
Yes.
Again, similar to what I mentioned earlier. Now, retail and residential demand, of course, depend on remittances. Right?
Ah,
So Filipinos working abroad. The good news is that the Filipinos continue to be deployed abroad, although, of course, this is a major concern.
yes.
How will the inflows, the remittances now coming from from the Middle
Yes.
East be affected? Because look at this slide here. I want you to focus
Ah,
here.
yes.
The remittances from Middle East, Wilson,
How many?
account for 18%. That's
Wow.
big. Almost
1/8.
20%.
80% from Middle
Yes.
East.
18, yes. So that's
Wow.
big. So imagine if you're if you're receiving $100 worth of
Yes.
remittances, $18, about a fifth coming from the Middle East. So that is big. Which five countries are the major sources from the Middle East? Of course, you have
Yes.
Saudi Arabia, you
Saudi.
have UAE, you have
UAE.
Kuwait, Qatar, and then Oman. So
Wow.
again, of course, usually there's really a lag time before the BSP releases the data, but we've yet to see, okay,
Yes.
the real impact of these remittances. Because, of course, we can't deny the fact that a lot of Filipinos have been repatriated already. They went back
Yes.
home. And let's see. The problem here is not just for them, quitting their jobs in the Middle East, but when they come back to the Philippines, will they have jobs?
Yes.
Right?
That's a
Well, so that
challenge.
will be a
Yes.
concern, exactly. So we were actually very optimistic at the start of this year because based on latest data from the Philippine Central Bank, the percentage of remittance receiving households, meaning those that receive remittances from their families abroad,
Yes.
when you look at their pattern of spending, the percentage of remittance receiving households allocating money for real estate is in fact growing 14%. But this is before
14%.
exactly. So this is before the Middle East crisis.
So
So
what do you mean 14%?
Meaning-
Of all the
yes.
OFW, the money that they send, 14% goes to real estate.
meaning Wilson, out of
Yes.
out of all the remittance receiving households, okay,
Yes.
families that receive remittances, 14% are allocating money on real estate.
Ah,
Of course, almost 100 of them would easily allocate money on food, diba?
yes.
And then majority, of course, also for households. But
Yes.
14% are allocating money on real estate purchases.
Wow.
So that is pretty
Big
huge,
impact.
right? Exactly. And I've been to these countries where we have a lot of OFWs. No, most recently, what was with Ayala Land. I was in
Ah,
fact chatting with the sales admin of Ayala Land in Singapore,
yes.
and she told me that they were able. Well, I had a briefing, so they
Yes.
were able to sell multiple properties. In fact, after my presentation, they told me that they were able to sell one Ayala Land lot only in Cavite, Wilson.
Yes.
The total amount, 31 million paid in
Wow.
cash.
Wow.
And these are OFWs, So,
So, very big thing itong OFW for the real estate industry.
it's still resilient. That's
Yes.
why I think, what does this mean? If there will be some slowdown from the Middle East, I think developers should really be aggressive, tapping other markets.
Outside the
Asia,
Middle
yes,
East.
is one. In fact, I have been telling
Yes.
my contacts from other developers
Yes.
because I was informed that this developer was in fact planning to hold a briefing in the Middle East, and they were in
Yes.
fact planning to invite me. But of course, this Iran conflict happened.
Yes.
So I told them, you should look at other markets.
How many OFWs in the whole world today,
Um,
legal and not legal?
the
Kasi
estimate
iba,
of,
not legal.
Wilson, the stock is about 11 million. So
11
that's
million.
about 10% of the total Philippine population.
Wow.
So they continue to send home money. Again, whether legal or illegal migrants,
They,
continue to
they
send
send
home.
money.
Exactly.
Yes.
So I think this is also, Wilson, that we need to keep an eye on, this indicator here, inflation.
Yes.
Because as you can see here, in 2025, average inflation is only 1.7%. In fact,
1.7%.
yes, so almost half the 3.2% in 2024. But given that there will likely be increases in price of basic commodities, diba,
Yes.
Wilson? In fact, inflation is starting to increase in shop. So will we see higher prices? And remember, 1.7% was the previous inflation. What did
Yes.
the central bank do at the time? They were very aggressive in cutting interest rates. That's
Yes.
why the basic policy rate is only 4.25. So initially, we were thinking, in the property space, of course, if you now see a lower interest rate, will that result in lower mortgage rates? Which-
do you foresee 2026 lower interest rate for housing loans?
I think, Wilson, at this point, it will be very difficult. Initially, we wanted that, and
Before
we
the
were
war.
actually exactly. Before
Yes.
the war, we were seeing and hoping that the
Yes.
central bank will further cut policy rates, diba? Interest
Yes.
rates. But what did we observe? And during our last presentation, diba,
Yes,
I also
yes.
discussed this, Wilson. Even if the basic policy rate is 4.25, the mortgage rate is still 7.7, 7.8%. So it's still
7.7
elevated.
to 7.8 ang housing loan,
That's correct, for a 5-year term, no? So meaning,
for 5-year loan,
yes, meaning
Uh-uh.
it's not even declining. So that was before the Middle East crisis, and now
what is your forecast after this Iran war? Will it go up?
I think, Wilson, to be fair, to be objective about it, there won't be immediate near-term impact.
Not yet.
Not yet. In fact, some sectors are saying, assuming the US and Iran agree on a deal, it will not result in lower prices even up to the end of 2025, right? And the problem is, of course, there was no deal
There was no
concluded
deal, yes.
recently between US and Iran. So I
Big
don't know.
question mark.
It's really very difficult to pinpoint at this point. It's a day-to-day situation. We're closely monitoring it.
So, housing loans, the interest 7.7 to 7
Yes.
point. Would it stay or hard to say?
It will be very difficult to pinpoint, Wilson, because
Yes.
given the increasing prices of basic commodities,
Yes.
inflation might continue inching
Go
up.
up.
And as you know, the basic guideline here is
Yes.
that if you see basic policy rates or basic inflation rate increasing, you're unlikely to cut the policy rates, right?
Yes.
interest
Should
rate.
be.
So I think at the very least, we're likely to see the mortgage rate still hovering at about 7.7, 7.8%. Of course, the central bank will still be wary in raising basic policy rates, right? Given
Yes.
that we're seeing challenges already in terms of spending
Yes.
across the market. So let's see. But let me now proceed to the office segment here. Look at the third icon. So Wilson, I want to share this with you.
Yes.
Because what we have observed right now is that some accounts, for example, a BPO company that was supposed to sign already, or a traditional Philippine company, they were
Yes.
supposed to sign that lease contract already. They put it on hold.
Because of the war.
Yes.
So you think this war talaga, this chaotic Iran war, will be a negative impact even to office spaces, of course.
We've yet to look at the quarter one, Wilson, and
Yes,
again, we will
wala pa.
release that on April 29. But so far, what I can share with you is that the due diligence are taking longer. A lot of accounts are being put on hold.
Yes.
That's what I can tell you. So
Yes.
again, of course, after our quarter one release, we can have another update on what's happening
Yes.
to the office market. Because initially we were very optimistic.
Yes.
We discussed this, Wilson, right?
Yes.
The overall vacancy is about 20%. But when you look at certain business districts in Metro Manila, Makati, Fort Bonifacio, Ortigas,
Yes.
they in fact are recording very good vacancy rates, 9,
Ah.
10, 12%. So
Wow.
BPO companies continue to expand. But again, given
Yes.
that we're seeing these major deals being put on hold, how will that affect the overall
Office
take-up of
market.
office space, Wilson?
Yes.
Because given that BPO companies are also, trying to, while they try to continue still occupy office space, a lot of these deals, contracts, the signing are put on hold. Will
Yes.
this also result, Wilson, in Philippine office developers tempering their launches moving forward?
Possible.
Exactly.
Yes.
Because
So developers might hold or slow down
Exactly.
their
Because
project.
yes, because of course they need to respond to essentially what's happening in the market, right?
Yes.
And let's see. But again, just to give you a quick backgrounder, even before this Middle East crisis,
Yes.
developers were already tempering their new launches. Meaning,
Yes.
because
Mm.
Wilson, at the height of the Pogo demand, of course, you're familiar with that,
Yes, I heard.
2017 to 2019.
Yes.
1 million square meters of office space being completed at the time. During
1
that
million
period.
in how
Yes.
long? In
1
1 year?
million square meters
In 1
in a
year?
single year, yes. 2017 to
Wow.
2019.
Offices,
Office, yes, office space in terms of
per
square
year.
meters. So that's pretty significant. Right now, we're
What
only
years? What years were these?
these are 2017 to 2019, just before the pandemic.
Wow.
Because essentially at that time,
Yes.
what is being launched or completed in the
Yes.
market is being absorbed, diba? Imagine you have the POGOs.
Yes.
At that time, the POGOs would occupy a third of total deals. Meaning, if you are recording 1 million square meters of office space,
Yes.
about 350,000 easily taken up by POGOs.
Immediately.
Yes. And I'm not sure, Wilson, if you handled office brokerage leasing at the time, no? But my
Yes.
colleagues, they, that was a period when they really made the killing in
I
terms
heard.
of
I
office
heard.
leasing.
I
Because,
heard.
imagine one transaction with these POGOs, 20, 30,000, essentially one entire building being occupied. And then, some of these POGO companies at the time would even pay in cash, cold
I
cash.
heard.
That's
I
why,
heard.
the AMLAC at that time really tightened their policies, right?
And I heard the housing boom also because these employees
Yes,
had to rent condos now.
that's correct. So you mentioned housing, Wilson. Let me transition to the residential
Yes.
market. So, of course, 2017 to 2019 was a very good year because of the POGO demand. But we're now seeing tempered supply as well as take-up or demand. So, lower demand, lower level of
Yes.
supply. We're seeing one of the major reasons why, again, based on our latest data, there will be less condominium units that will be completed every year from 2026 up to 2028. What are you seeing here? 7,100. This is about half of what used to be completed in Metro Manila from 2017 to 2019.
So half volume only
Yes,
na
half.
completion
So,
now.
this actually started, Wilson, even before, at the height of the pandemic, of course,
Yes.
2021, because at the time there were a lot of backouts. So
Yes.
initially, people would reserve a condo, especially
Yes.
in the Bay Area. Eventually, they realized they cannot afford because of
Yes.
huge bank finances charges. So they would back out of that loan. So there were a lot of unsold condominiums. Our latest estimate, Wilson, is that there
Yes.
are about 30,000 unsold condominium units, RFO, no? Ready for
Already
occupancy.
ready for
Yes.
occupancy all over Metro Manila.
All over Metro Manila. And again,
Wow.
this is one indicator that we need to closely observe, because if you
Yes.
look at Metro Manila right now, Wilson, the vacancy in the secondary market naman,
Yes.
meaning completed, turned over already, and then the buyer is looking for a renter, di ba?
Yes.
Or he wants to flip it,
Yes.
and looking for a seller in the secondary market. The
Yes.
vacancy is 25%.
Okay.
They
They can
note
see
that
in
these-
renting.
Yes.
So
So essentially, 1 out of 4 condos being rented out, being resold,
yes.
is a vacant at this point, Wilson.
Yes.
The
Uh,
problem is, yes.
Is this a good opportunity for end users? Kasi 'di ba we are looking at the situation. Is this possibly a good time for real end users finally to negotiate and buy something lower price? Is this a good
That's a
opportunity?
very good question, Wilson. It's obvious that you're also a broker. It
Baka
is.
people could ano.
It is because just look at this graph here.
Yes.
What do you see in the Bay Area? The vacancy is almost 60%.
Bay Area,
Yes.
60%
So essentially,
vacancy.
Wilson, 6 out
Yes.
of 10 condos being rented out in the Bay Area vacant at this
Wow.
point. So
Yes.
again, you asked me, is this a good time for end user? Definitely. Why?
Yes.
I'll give you an example. If you are a Makati employee, right?
Yes.
And you want to rent out a condo, but you don't want to, pay the Makati CBD,
Yes.
okay? Meaning near Ayala Ave
Yes.
rent.
Right.
So you look for other condos in the
Nearby.
fringes of Makati,
Yes, yes.
diba? Where you can walk pa rin, going to work, or
Yes.
perhaps you just take the Grab after office
Yes.
hours kasi
Or
it's much cooler,
MRT,
diba?
LRT.
Exactly. No, actually, Wilson, if in Makati Fringe, say Pasok Tamo, Buendia, don't have to take the MRT.
Oh,
But
yes.
you're near Ayala Avenue.
You can
so,
walk.
instead of paying, for example, a Makati
Yes.
CBD rate of 40,000, you can, in fact, look
Yes.
for a condo
Yes.
along the fringes of Makati at about 15 to 20,000, ha? So,
Imagine, ha?
meaning, you're an end user, di ba? You rent it out,
Yes.
di ba? Or you buy it in the
Yes.
under the rent-to-own promo of a developer, but at a much lower rate.
Galing.
Right? Why is this a good market for end user? Imagine, Wilson,
Yes.
pre-pandemic, before you can move in
Yes.
to a completed condo, you have to pay 5-10% of total contract price, di ba? Now,
Fully
wala
paid
na
5 to 10%, then you can move in
Yes.
before.
Now, wala na yun. You just
Wala
have
na.
to pay 2 months, 3 months worth of rent, you move into a completed condo. So, example if a
Wow.
condo is priced at 6 million.
Example yan.
Before, yes, just before the
Ilan,
pandemic,
gano'ng kalaki yan? Yung 6 million.
I would say 25 to 30 square meters.
Yes.
Diba?
In what area?
Say Pasong Tamo, Buendia.
Yes.
That area. Okay?
Yes.
So, Chino Roses. So,
Yes.
6 million. Pre-pandemic,
Yes.
at the height of POGO demand, before you can move into that 6 million condo, you need to pay at the minimum 10% of total contract price. So, 600,000.
Yes.
Diba, Wilson? Now, you see a lot of vacant units in the area.
Yes.
You pay how much? 20,000 monthly rent, 2 months worth, essentially para siyang advance and deposit, diba?
Yes.
So, 20,000, you only pay 40,000.
You can
Previously,
move
you
in
pay
na.
600,000.
Wow.
So, that, these are what we're seeing right now. No? Definitely.
More flexible ang
Exactly.
developers.
And friendlier to an end user. Diba, Wilson?
Yes.
Not to an investor. Of course, investor. Some investors kasi, ang thinking nila is more
Yes.
of the pre-selling. Diba?
Yes. Yes.
You buy it at a very low price under pre-selling. Once it's completed, you turn it. They turn it over, you resell it, you flip it.
Yes.
But
Or
for an
rent
end
it out.
user, if there's an urgent need to look for a condo that you can rent,
Yes.
this is a very good opportunity for you. That's why, again, these are figures just before the pandemic. We're
Yes.
seeing less launches and take-up in the market. And I want to highlight this, Wilson. Look at
Yes.
this slide here.
Yes.
Out of the 10,000 condo units sold in the pre-selling market,
Yes.
about 40% are RFO, meaning ready for occupancy already. So, why are we seeing a greater share of the RFO market being sold?
Yes.
Because developers are offering attractive payment terms, lease to own. I would say
Yes.
one example of this is DMCI. DMCI has been very
Example,
aggressive.
DMCI na.
Diba?
Anong example nila? What terms are you seeing sa DMCI?
Okay.
Example.
Maganda yung term ni DMCI. Why? Because you don't have to pay a hefty cash out, diba? So,
Yes.
hefty cash out, yun. You pay yung deposit and advance. And then you can move in already.
Galing.
And they
Galing.
have a lot, and knowing DMCI, of course, they have a lot of projects in Metro Manila, diba?
Yes.
That's why we're seeing this recovery already. So, meaning less back out, greater take-up overall in the Metro Manila condominium market. And this is an interesting slide here, Wilson.
Yes.
You see the orange bars, no?
Yes.
So these represent the lower upper mid income, meaning
Yes.
the 3.6 to 7 million pesos per unit is dominating. Why?
3.6 million
2
to
to 7.
7
Lower
million.
mid.
Yes.
Why? Because these are the condos that are now ready for occupancy and are being
Yes.
offered to the market at very competitive rates and competitive terms. Yun, the likes of DMCI. DMCI, of course,
Yes.
very popular under that segment, di ba? 5
Yes.
to 7 million pesos. Of course, you have
Yes.
Avida also.
Also Abita.
These are the projects that we're seeing that are recording very good take up.
So
Those
the
coming from the
developers
local-
are market oriented. They are trying to be flexible.
Definitely. Because
Good
diba,
news for
Wilson, I mean,
developers. For
DMCI
buyers.
DMCI previously was very transparent. And
Yes.
they were in fact very brave, saying that they have 100 billion pesos worth of unsold RFO.
They said that. Kailan
Yes,
yan? Kailan yan? 100 billion.
This was let me show this to you. This was mga fourth quarter of 2024 to first quarter of 2025.
Wow.
So DMCI really released this. You may Google check it. There's a lot of
Yes.
news items about it. But what
Very
happened?
honest sila.
Yes, what happened after that, Wilson?
Yes.
The likes of DMCI, Avida, Fininvest, RLC.
Pati
Medyo-
Fininvest adjustable na sila.
There's a latest
NRLs.
promo. They have been very aggressive, but not just them. In fact, a lot of developers, no?
Yes.
SMDC,
SMDC also.
Vista. What are they offering? Very big discounts if you pay spot cash.
Mega World din, di ba?
30, 40%, diba?
If you have bigger down payment, they give you
Yes.
big
Well,
discount daw, I heard.
for some of them,
Yes.
hefty discounts kapag you pay spot cash.
So really good time for end users
And
now.
user, yes.
Even investors.
And I would say, yes, investors, because especially if you are looking for, quote unquote, distressed properties
Yes.
that were completed years ago but don't have buyer, diba? Or perhaps relatively older condos but
Yes.
big cuts, because right now, Wilson,
Yes.
and this is one insight that we have been getting. There's a huge demand for the big cuts, the
Yes.
large, diba?
Yeah, older condominiums in the
Exactly,
same
yes.
areas.
Yeah. In fact, right now I think a lot
Yes.
of condos by Rockwell that are being sold in the secondary market.
Yes.
The Lunas, diba? The Hidalgos.
Yes. Yes.
Once you resell this, do a
Yes.
little refurbishing, you can lease them out or resell at much higher.
Are they discounted also? The Rockwell range?
The Rockwell, because these are relatively older projects.
Yes.
Again, if you acquired them late 90s, early 2000s,
You can. You
you'd still be making a profit if you sell them right now.
if you do a discount, you still have the money, ba?
Definitely, because you got them at much lower rates
Yes.
during the late 90s, diba?
Yes.
Just Wilson, the height of the Asian financial
Yes.
crisis, early 2000. So even if you sell them at corrected prices given the current market conditions, you'd still be selling at a profit because you got them at much lower rates.
Yes.
Late 90s, early 2000s. That's why I want to stress this, Wilson. So this
Yes.
is the question that we have right now. We
Yes.
ended 2025 with much lower remaining inventory life, meaning the number of years it will
Yes.
take the market to fully sell the condos.
From
But
how many years to how many years?
look at this, Wilson. It peaked
Yes.
at 13.4 years. It's down to 7.9 years.
Ano yung 13.4 years? When was this?
This was second quarter of 2025. I'll give you
Yes.
an anecdote here, Wilson. This
Yes.
was a period when, a lot of developers would get why are we releasing this data, right?
Yes,
And,
yes, yes.
I know, Wilson, that you kind of agreed with the
I agree. I agree with
with
you.
our data.
Magaling si Joey.
Much longer, for the market to fully absorb this. And
So how do you extend ulit? How do you, in layman's terms, yung
Okay.
13.4 years,
Meaning, it will take 15.4 years to fully sell
to fully
the
sell all the
unsold
inventory.
condo, yes, unsold inventory in Metro Manila, the RFO, ready for occupancy.
When,
But-
then, ngayon, it has improved na with all these
It
adjustments.
has improved definitely. So, but when unsold inventory, so meaning the RFO ready for occupancy, and then the still under construction, no?
Yes.
So we believe that right now it will take only about 7.9 years.
Now, 7.4
So this is-
years na lang.
Again, if you tell me, of course, it's
Yes.
still an elevated figure, but it's a much improved indicator.
When,
compared to
what time is this 7.4? Last
This is
month
as of end 2025.
and 2025.
So again, we will be releasing this data first quarter. But I want to share this, Wilson. No?
Yes.
When the developers started offering these attractive payment terms, huge
Yes.
discounts if you pay spot cash,
Yes.
to own units,
Yes.
meaning from a renter you become an owner. That's
Yes.
when we saw the remaining inventory life dip to 7.9 years. So
Galing,
I think developers are listening to us.
Yes. And
All
adjusting
years.
to reality.
Exactly, right? I mean, I always, some brokers, in fact, I do a lot of briefings, right?
Yes.
Some brokers would also get mad that, why are you releasing this data? Are you trying to deceive the public? I told them, no, ma'am, we're not trying to deceive the public. In fact, we're giving this as a service to the industry. Just
The
imagine.
truth. That is the truth.
Just imagine, Wilson, if we conceal this indicator and we just realize too late in the game that the
You'll be
inventory life is 20 years,
You but be stuck 20 years unsold.
right? And then
Yes.
you'd come to us and tell us, why didn't we release the data in the first place?
And developers might build too many and worsen the situation. Tama, tama.
One of the major reasons why major developers are our clients.
That's my favorite kasi si Joy Bondoc. Kasi
Diba?
he's not talking from a purely, kasi I want to tell them, I told them before you came here, many of the analysts in real estate industry are in the selling part of the, they are more salesman than
Yes.
analysts. So they keep saying the economy is good despite the bad reality. So he is very truthful.
We tell it like it is, Wilson. No?
Yes.
Whatever we release is data supported. Imagine if we don't release that data, eventually we reach 20 years remaining inventory life, it just blows up on our faces.
And it will worsen the entire situation.
Yes. I think we're actually practically, guiding the market, the brokers, the developers. How do you tweak your strategies, no? Especially
Yes.
given that we still have a lot of unsold condos in Metro Manila. What are they doing? One thing that we have observed, Wilson, diversification.
Yes.
Because, one example, if you have a Rockwell condo already, Rockwell
Yes.
Center,
Yes.
and I know some people that are doing this. They have a Rockwell condo,
In Makati.
and given the dynamics in Metro Manila, what did they do? They bought lot-only projects by Rockwell in Batangas and Bulacan. That's why those initial phases of lot-only
Yes.
developments by Rockwell in Batangas and Bulacan are sold out already, Wilson.
That's why.
It's not just Rockwell. Look at SMDC.
Yes.
What did they do? They launched SM Signature, the premium luxury lot-only project in Susana Heights, Parañaque. The smallest cut, 500 square meters.
Wow.
So,
Diversify din sila.
yes. So, it's the product type and geographic diversification that they have
Yes.
been doing. And we believe that we're likely to see this trend moving forward. So,
Yes.
again, just to recap what we presented. Again, for office, we're seeing longer due diligence, delays in the signing of leasing contracts. Residential, of course, previously we already saw tempered launches from developers. Will we see that moving forward, given what's happening in the Middle East? And of course, the OFWs continue to
Middle
fight.
East plus our Philippine political turbulence. Diba?
Exactly.
Because of the flood control and the
Exactly, yes.
impeachment and all
Well,
this noise.
if I may add this also, at the
Yes.
height of that flood control issue. We saw
Yes.
some backouts in the luxury market.
You have heard of backouts because of that.
Yes. So
Because it's a black mark on the Philippine image
Yes.
overall, di ba?
yes. And I think, if you're a lawmaker,
Yes.
you don't want to be associated with the 120 million condo unit.
Yes.
Unless you can really justify,
Where did you
got
get?
the money, right? And that's why we saw a lot of backouts. And we can't deny the fact that, this is the segment, the 100 million pesos per unit that was really affected by the flood control issue. And we saw that when that issue came out. Of course, retail will still be affected by lower inflow of remittances, especially from the Middle East.
Yes.
But I think, Wilson, just before this Middle East crisis,
Yes.
the retail sector was really booming, huh? When
Ah.
you go around malls, what do you
Yes.
see?
Oo nga.
You see what? You see coffee shops
Yes.
within Muji, within footwear and clothing stores. Diba?
Yes.
What are
Oo
they
nga.
doing? They want the shoppers to caffeinate until they drop dead,
Ang galing nga.
till they palpitate.
Galing.
So you caffeinate until you palpitate.
Ang galing. So,
They
that was their
what do
strategy.
what do they want you to do?
Kaya pala puro coffee shops ito, mga retail fashion outlets. They're very smart. They
Look
want
at-
you to be awake. Di ka
Diba?
maantok.
Look at Muji.
Oo nga.
They want you to shop, Wilson, until you drop.
Yes.
Diba?
Muji.
Caffeinate until you palpitate. Diba? Oh. That's what they're doing. Because
Ang galing.
they want you to shop. Oh, you sip muna, then you shop. O napagod ka, sip ka ulit.
Gising ka
may
ulit.
energy ka na ulit. O,
Yes.
shop ka ulit.
Hindi lang Muji. Including the others. I think Bench also went into cafe. Sino pa? Ang dami. Sino pa?
Muji.
Yes.
Marami.
Marami. Tama. Sino pa?
Previously, Wilson,
Ano sabi nga?
Mike and
Oo.
Spencer. Previously, bago sila
Prince
mag-saya, di ba?
Prince also
They,
with cafes.
Did that. When I went to Bangkok, Wilson,
Yes.
si Polo.
Apollo
Lauren
also
has its cafe. So,
in Thailand.
in fact, you may YouTube this. There's a CNBC documentary. That's a trend.
Galing nga.
Yeah, you may check it on YouTube. Interesting. Because
Oh my
yun nga,
God.
they want you to caffeinate until you
Caffeinate
palpitate.
until you
Shop until
palpitate.
you drop.
Shop till you drop.